Hey, it's me, Miranda. What kind of changes did this script go through?
Numerous.
Oh, Lord.
We lost track.
Yeah.
Okay, the first change was we wrote an outline. We sat down, we had an outline, we mapped out the entire plot with all the twists that we're going to throw in there that we could think of at the time. We sat on that outline for like 6 months, and Alex emailed it to me, and I sat down and reread it. And as I read it, the visions popped into my head, and the script started to write itself. Basically, I had the first scene in my head very clearly, and it's like, I better write this down before I forget. So I started writing it down, and I got it to the escape from, the theft of the virus. And then I walked away, but the next scene kept popping in my head, and all of what's going to happen next. So after 20 minutes, I couldn't take it anymore. I sat down in front of the computer and just kept writing until I couldn't think of anything. As I was writing, I took something that Kevin Smith said about when he wrote Red State, that when you take a right turn, normally I take a right turn, I turned left instead. So whenever I came into a place where I had to make a choice, I knew what the obvious choice would be, and I generally took the less obvious path. Then I would paint myself into a corner, and instead of trying to figure out how to get myself out, I just kept writing. I said, I get out somehow, and I write. And then when I'm done, I get to a point where it's like, in the middle of the writing, I go, oh, this is how I get out of that corner. So I'd write a flashback scene. And doing it that way, I just kept writing and writing and writing until I didn't have any more ideas. And then I said, okay, cool, it's not done, but I'm creatively toast. 4 hours later, I'm back at the typewriter again, finished it, and I looked back over it, and I went, wow, this is like really cool. I think it's really, really clever. Of course, how much of this is my ego and how much of this is actually good writing. I've never considered myself a scriptwriter. Alex is the writer, so I sent the script to him, and he read it, and he got back with me and said, so, where's the ending? When are you going to write the ending? I did. In my script, the ending was a very dark thing. The only way that you're going to have something better is if you're different and take chances. So I put the dark ending where the guy's getting tortured and everybody walks away. And to me, it was over, and Alex was going, no. So I went, okay.
It just didn't feel complete at that point, so.
Yeah. So I sat down and I wrote an ending, and as I was writing the ending, another plot twist happened. And then I sent it back to him, and I thought, I might have gone a twist too far. And he looked at it and said, I don't like it. I wrote the bulk of the script, and then Alex chimed in, and we would have creative sessions and change things around. And when the two of us were exhausted creatively, I worked with a guy named Jonathan Love, who used to write puzzles and riddles and things at the end of the company crew newsletter. And extremely intelligent, extremely well-read. And so I approached him and said, do you want to help out with the script? And then he put his ideas into it, which basically threw everything we had into a cocked hat. Because he was coming from left field with a lot of stuff, and I'm going,
Yeah.
But
some of his ideas were actually pretty good.
No.
Others were just like, did you read the script? Do you understand what we're trying to do?
Well, it wasn't, it wasn't that he didn't understand. It's just some of those things were like, what? Okay. I would take it because it was something that never occurred to me, and it was just so far off where we were. Alex and I were pretty much kind of in sync on it, and Jonathan was the odd man out, which is exactly what we needed.
Right.
So it's like we didn't always agree on everything, but it was beneficial having him on board and getting involved in doing this. For example, Jen started off, she was just a waitress, our heroine, essentially. She was just a waitress, and she had to go to the doctor because we needed her to travel, and we needed something to occupy her time. Alex wanted her to be more proactive in her fight scenes, and So
No, just in the
we're
script in
stage
general,
combat
yeah.
guys. Let's make her an actress, and she takes stage combat classes. And I wrote this whole combat class to set her up to be an excellent fighter, or at least amateur good fighter.
Be able to defend herself.
We sent that to Jonathan. Jonathan hated it. Absolutely hated it. I hate the stage combat stuff. And then he came back at us and says, "Why don't you use magic?" And that's one of those left field things, like magic. What the hell?
Yeah.
And so I took that and I thought about it for a while, and I was like, I like the stage combat, but then again, I'm biased. This is why I get opinions from other people's, to make sure that sometimes I think I'm valid, sometimes I'm not. But we added magic into it, and she had to do magic tricks, and her audition originally was 12th Night. She was auditioning for 12th Night.
Theater in the Park.
That's public domain. When we added magic into it, we changed the audition to being a remake of The Magician, the Bill Bixby TV show. Alex's comment was, she's too much of a damsel in distress. We need to strengthen up the woman character, so we did that. We added magic tricks in there. So it's not, we're not doing Hogwarts magic. We're doing stage magician's illusionist magic. And we just threw some tricks in there for an amateur magician. And we kept the doctor's appointment as a lie, and she's going to an audition. So when we start casting, we'll be looking for people who have some skills with magic acts, not necessarily great, just able to perform. So we're shooting for, we have magic in the show. How much magic depends on the level of the quality of magicians we get, but hopefully we'll get something that we can actually feature some really cool illusions within the film, just for entertainment purposes. So yeah, that's an example. That's something that a change the script went through that doesn't really give away any of the twists in it.
Yeah.
There were other changes, personalities, characters, motivations. We went from being from one end of the spectrum to the other and back again. So much so that I kind of lost track of where we were.
Yeah. Hell, I couldn't even keep up with some of the drafts sometimes, because you and Jonathan would have a meeting, and you'd rewrite something and send me the draft, and then before I even have a chance to open the email and read it, it's like, oh yeah, by the way, here's the new draft. I'm like, oh good Lord, man. And it's
There really was. It was actually, we'd have a meeting. I don't think Jonathan ever met with me separately. You were always there.
okay.
But I would write a draft, and I'd send it out because I think I was done, and then have another idea and rewrite it. And it was a significant difference, so I'd have to resend it. It wasn't just one minor changes. It was like, oh, this is a huge change in the character's personality. There's a lot of psychological insight into the characters that we went through. So, yeah, these characters are very well three-dimensional. Is my firm belief that you have to have interesting plot and you have to have interesting characters, or you don't have a movie.